And welcome back to the Great Tiger Talk. And we are to open up our first career episode. We will be talking about MLB standings as of Sunday, May 26, 2024. And here to start it is Wyatt about the Yankees.
Yankees here, they are number one in the American League East. I think they're also number one in the American... Yeah, they're number one in the American League. They're 37-17. Their win percentage is .685. Home and away, they have about the same win percentage. It's 18-8 and 19-9. The last 10 games they have played here they are 8-2. So the Yankees look like they are going to be one of the top teams in the MLB this year. The only team ahead of them is the Phillies. They are 38-15. Some top Yankee news here is John Berti, who has suffered, their third baseman, who has suffered an injury running to first. They've put him on the IR currently, and well, I hope he gets better, but currently it's not looking good for them. Next up for the Orioles, let's head to Wyatt Jones.
The Orioles shockingly have one of the best farm systems, and those Orioles fans, they think they had it all good last year, but they probably got first rounded. I don't remember. And this year, they look to have first place again, but looks like those dreams and hopes of Orioles fans of ever being any good are fading away as they go to second place and are 3 games back from the Yankees with a 32-18 record. That's not what you want to see in a .6 for 640 win percentage. And their run differential is plus 58, which isn't bad, but runs scored 248, runs allowed 190. They're home 17-10 and away 15-8. And wins against above 500 teams are 16-6, which is better than the Yankees, barely. And their next game is at the Chicago White Sox, which should be an easy win for them because the White Sox are not doing too good this year. Their win streak is a 3-game win streak right now. Last in games 6-10. Wild card, they are plus 4.5 games, so they should be able to make the wild card. They are doing pretty good this year, but not as good as last year, I'm pretty sure, as of right now. Hope they can do better because no one wants to see the Yankees win. They're the Yankees. No one really cares. But let's see if the Orioles have anything good running for them. Has their third place in their division, the Red Sox, come in as Wyatt talked to them.
So the Red Sox are 27-26. They are right about average on win percentage. They are 9.5 games behind from the Yankees, and their home record is actually lower than their away record. They are 11-15 home and 16-11 away. They are their last 10 games. They are 5-5. The next game for the Red Sox are the Orioles. Actually, the number two in their division. Red Sox are coming off a 2-1 win against the Brewers, though.
Sorry about that noise. There's just like a tornado watch right now where we are. Who cares? We'll be fine for now.
But the Red Sox have signed a new right-hand pitcher, Brad Keller. He has played AAA. No, they signed him instead of another option, Zach Kelly, a AAA player. And that's it for the Red Sox. Let's head to Wyatt Jones for the
Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays are anything but good this year. They're 26-28, which is sad to see after their last 3 to 4 years. They have been doing pretty good. They made it to the World Series against the Dodgers a couple years back and barely lost. But it's sad to see Tampa Bay has a losing record with a win percentage of .481, which means basically, not good. Games back 11.0. That's not good. They for wild card they are 3.5 games back win streak. They do have a 1-10 or their last 10 games are 4-6, and their streak is 1 win streak. Runs scored 214, runs allowed 261. That is a 47 run differential negative, which is not good. Home they are 15-17. Away they are 11-11. Wins against teams that have a higher record or have a higher win percentage than 500, 9-13. Their next game is against the Oakland Athletics, who have been doing better, but not that good. But hopefully they sell the team. But still, the Tampa Bay Rays are still a very good team with Randy Arozarena, Yandy Diaz, and some others that, yeah. But there are a good young team that I'd like to see go to the playoffs again. They're just, hopefully they're going to do good, and maybe they'll be one of the comeback teams. Maybe it'll be like last year, and they'll just be a team that sneaks in and makes it to the World Series. Rangers, Diamondbacks, anyone? Anyone? But, yeah, hopefully it'll be good. But teams that doesn't look like it's going to make it to the playoffs, even though they're only 2 games back from them, the Toronto Blue Jays. Here to talk about them, Wyatt Licky.
So the Blue Jays this year, they are 23-29. They have a losing record with a .442, and they are 13 games behind the New York Yankees. They are 12-12 at home and 11-17 away. So their away record is not too good. Their last 10 games, they are 4-6. That is just about the same percentage as their total record. They also have, they don't have any big news here, but their next game is against, let me see here. They just actually lost against the Detroit Tigers, letting up 14 runs. Their next game is against the White Sox, which it's not a very good team this year, actually. So they should be able to win that one. They play them for the next couple games they play. But the White Sox, their past couple games since that last game, they have lost to the Tigers 3 times in a row. So they are not looking too good this year. It does not look like they're going to stand a chance to get into the playoffs, and if they do, they're going to barely sneak in and get first rounded. Let's head next to the Cleveland Guardians in the AL Central, to Wyatt Jones.
Okay, the Cleveland Guardians. The new name might be working for them, but it's still, But with a winning record of 35 wins and 17 losses, puts them first in their divisions, just ahead of the Royals, who are 2 games back. And the Guardians have a winning percentage with 600.673. Last 10 games 9-1, so really good right now. Win streak 8 games. Runs scored 258. Runs allowed 156. That puts them at a plus 72 run differential, which is pretty good. And at home they are 18-16. Away they are 17-11, and their record against teams plus 500 winning percentage is 14-7. And the next game is against the Angels, which traded away Ohtani, or they didn't even trade him away, really. They just let him up in free agency. They really thought he would sign with them. Not a good call. But the Cleveland Guardians are looking to make a playoff hope. But it's not what it normally is, with the Twins right on them trying to clinch the division. It's the Royals, which we haven't seen since 2016 in the World Series. Now, call me someone who doesn't believe in teams that aren't good, but I don't think the Royals stand a chance in this division. I think the Guardians are a bright young team, and maybe, just maybe, Jose Ramirez can knock out another another White Sox player. Let's see Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson in a fight. I get Tim Anderson was traded, but still. Who doesn't want to see a fight between them? That'd just be really fun to see because we've already had one KO with them. How bad can it get? If Tim Anderson dies, the only thing he really did was hit that walk-off home run in the Field of Dreams. And the second place team that's trying to clinch the division, the Kansas City Royals, Wyatt will cover now as he talks about them.
So the Kansas City Royals last year were not good. They finished last in their division. This year they are now second in their division, actually, with a 34-20 record. They have a .63 percentage. They're doing a lot better than they were last year, and they came off a loss against the Rays just today, actually, against the Royals 4-1. The Royals beat the Royals lost to the Rays 4-1, sorry. Next they'll play the Twins tomorrow, and they will play them for the next couple of games. They're also 2 games behind the Cleveland Guardians. Or ahead, whatever. They are also some other stats. They are better actually playing in the night, it looks like. So, whatever that next game is, it's actually in the day, so probably going to lose that one. Next, let's head to Wyatt Jones and the Minnesota Twins.
The Minnesota Twins are normally right up the alley with the Guardians, neck and neck with them. And shockingly, almost every team, 3 out of the 5 teams in the AL Central have a winning record. Now, I don't think I was dead the last time that happened. I'm not kidding with you. I'm pretty sure the last time that happened was a long time ago. Yeah, probably. But the Minnesota Twins are 28-23, have a winning percentage of .549, are 6.5 games back, and they are right at the wild card. So right now they're going to make the wild card. They're right at the 3rd team, I'm pretty sure. Their last 10 games, they're 4-6 streak. Their win streak is 4 games. Their runs scored is 228. Runs allowed is 220. And their run differential is +8. Pretty good. Home, they are 13-11. Away, they're 15-12. And against teams that have a record of, or winning percentage of higher than .5 is 9-17. Their next game is against the reigning champs, the Texas Rangers, which I don't think they're doing too good, but they aren't doing too good. Well, yeah, that division's done for. But still, the AL Central shocking everyone today, as they are actually doing good. Let me say that again. Good. Did you not catch me? Good. They're doing good. Okay? Okay, and here to talk about the Detroit Tigers, one of the most not exciting teams in the MLB since they got rid of Miguel Cabrera, is Wyatt Lucky.
The Detroit Tigers are 26-27. Their win percentage is .491, just below average, and they are 9.5 games behind the Cleveland Guardians. Their last 10 games, they are 5-5, right at 50. They are on a 3-game win streak currently, and they have scored, looks like 225 runs, and they've allowed the same amount of runs. So their home record is 13-14. Their away is right at average, 13-13. Their record against 500 teams is 7-12. No, above 500 teams is 7-12. So their next game is against Pittsburgh on May 28th, and they are, let's see how they've done in the past few games. They just came off a win against the Blue Jays and they have beat the Blue Jays in the past couple games. Next is all right. Let's head next to the what team's next?
Chicago White Sox, one of the most harassing teams in baseball. Now, I don't know if they still have their sleepy manager, who literally got told by a fan how to manage a game. That's not looking too good for them. But everyone else in the AL Central is doing really good. And as we look at the AL West, it won't be like that. But the White Sox have 15 wins and 38 losses, winning percentage of .283. They're 20.5 games back, and they're in wild card. They're 13.5 games back, and whenever there's only one run scored, they are 5-8. They're 6 for 17 in day games, 9 and 21 in night games. And on grass fields, they're 13 and 34. On turf, they're 2 for 4. And whenever they play someone from the East, they are 5 and 10. Whenever they play someone in the Central, they're 5 and 19. In the West, they're 0 for 0. That might be their best stat all day. I don't know. And for AL to NL, they're 5 and 9. Versus righties, they're 10 and 31. Versus lefties, they're 5 and 7. And they have scored 156 runs, and they have allowed 269. And they have a run differential of, get ready, 113. They're 2 for 8 in their last 10 games. They are on a 4-game losing streak. 4 games. Who could do better? And they are playing Baltimore right now, which, let me guess, they're losing. If I had to guess, they're losing. And what a shocker, they are losing 2-0 at home. Yeah, they aren't going to win that game. What is there to say about the Chicago White Sox that I've already not said besides they're horrible? They're horrible. And I feel bad for Luis Robert Jr., who is playing for them right now, when he should be on a better team. And I'm pretty sure Eloy Jimenez is still on that horrible team, but he probably should be on a better team. Who cares? That team's trash. And the more I talk about the AL Central as a whole, the more I wonder, how did they get this good over a season? I wonder if they took the Astros' cheating strategy. I'll never know. But the Chicago White Sox are going to lose to the Orioles today. Mark my words. I'm willing to gamble on that. And I don't know about how I feel about this. Their best average is .240. Their runs is 19. And the person who's leading their home runs is Paul DeLong with 7. And runs batted in is 18. Stolen bases 5. And their pitching, oh gosh, their wins is 5, their saves is 5, their ERA 2.8 somehow. Their leaders with 85 strikeouts. And how many games are we in now? I don't know. But they're just doing bad. Really bad. Their number one hitter has played in 47 games. Okay? 146 at-bats. Has 35 hits. And has an on-base percentage of .296. Now, let me go down to their worst hitter. According to MLB, it is their worst hitter is Lennon Sosa. If they were related to Sammy Sosa, they would actually be doing good. They've played in 12 games, 38 at-bats, and have 5 hits. Now, I'm not saying I could do better, but I might be able to do better. That's probably not even the worst. Oh, wait, yes it is. And their on-base percentage is .154. Their slugging is literally .184, and their OPS, which is average and slugging combined, is .338. That's higher than their first hitter, but still not good. Now, as the more I talk about the great AL Central, yeah, they aren't that good, but they're pretty good. Now, here to talk about one of the thriving teams in baseball is Wyatt Lickey. Sorry for that cutoff there. We just recognized we were kind of muted for a while. But here to talk about the Seattle Mariners is Wyatt Lickey. There you go.
The Seattle Mariners are 28-26 here. Let's see here. They have a win percentage of .59 and somehow still first. I gotta say, the AL West is not a very good division because the team in second doesn't even have a winning record. So their last 10 games, they are 4-6. They have a 1-game win streak, but their runs scored and runs allowed is a -7 differential. It's 202 and 209. So their expected win-loss actually is 26 and 28 based on the runs scored to runs allowed differential. They are 15 and 10 at home and 13 and 16 away. They are against above 500 teams. They are 13 and 17. Their next game is May 27th against the Houston Astros actually, and just in their division. So let's look at some of their hitting stats, and with the most amount of hits, Julio Rodriguez has the most amount of hits on the Seattle Mariners team with 56, and Ty France in second with 43. So that's a pretty big difference there. Next we got Cal Riley, whatever the name is. Sorry. With 11 home runs, and next is Ty France with 6, and it looks like there's a couple more 6s, and then it keeps going down from there. But actually, let's see. George Polanco has been walked. Polanco, whatever. Their second baseman has been walked 21 times somehow in the 46 games he's played. That's pretty bad for whoever's pitching, Julio, whoever he was. But so they're pitching here, Luis
Castillo.
Yeah, that name. Sorry, I kind of suck with names. But
that's it for the Mariners. All you need to know is they're in first place in their division. That's it. And now the reigning World Series champs. How can MLB sum it up any better? I mean, I'm going to get teared up here. World champs 25-29. Best team in MLB, huh? They have a winning percentage of .63 or .463. Now that's not that good, but it's better than the Houston Cheatstros or whatever, Trashstros, who banged on trash cans, who looks like they might need to go back to that because they aren't doing too good either. They're 3 games back from the Mariners. They're 4 games back for wild card. In one-run games, they're 8-5, 9-12 in day games, 16-17 in night games, 11-15 on grass, 14-14 on turf, 2-1 in East, 7-6 in Central, 9-11 in West, 7-11 in AL and NL. Versus righties, they're 17-20, and lefties, they are 8-9, and they have a run differential of -7. They've allowed 239 runs, they've allowed 249 runs, and they've scored 239. And they are playing against the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's a World Series matchup again. But you did talk about the Houston Trashstros, who cheated basically their entire career and stole World Series from the Los Angeles Dodgers and probably more teams. Who knows? Is Wyatt Lickey.
All right, Houston Trashstros here are 23-29. Their win percentage is, they have a losing record, so their win percentage is .442. They are 4 games behind the Seattle Mariners, and their last 10 games, they do have a winning record. They are 6-4. They are in a 1-game loss streak, and their runs scored is 237. Runs allowed, though, is 244. They have a -7 runs allowed to runs scored differential. And at home, they are 14-15. Away, they are 9-14. Against above 500 teams, they are 6-19. Currently, they are currently playing the Oakland Athletics. They are actually winning here at the top of the 7th, 5-1, with 1 out and somebody on first. Next, let's head over to Wyatt Jones to talk about the Oakland Athletics, actually.
And maybe they'll sell their team finally. I'm pretty sure I'm saying this right. Who is the A's owner? I'm pretty sure it's John Fisher. Don't look that up. Yep, John Fisher. I called that. I hate John Fisher. He's trying to move the team to Las Vegas. Now, let's not get into that stuff. The Oakland Athletics have one of the worst teams in baseball. Or at least last year they did. I'm pretty sure they may have set a record for how bad they were. I'm not joking about that. They have 22 wins, 32 losses, .407 winning percentage, 6 games back, and 7 games back in wild card. Last 10 games, 3-7, win streak 1. Runs scored 204, runs allowed 264. That is a -60 run differential. Home, they are 13-15. Away, they're 9-17. Wins against teams with a above .5 record is or .5 winning percentage is 6-17, and they're playing Houston right now. Like Wyatt said, that should be a good game. I think they're probably losing like normal. And they're 13-11 in day games, 9-21 at night, 20-31 on grass, 2-1 on turf, 4-6 in the East, 3-10 in Central, 5-11 in West, and 10-5 in AL and NL. 16-22 versus righties, 6-10 versus lefties, and in one-run games they are 9-8. That should be interesting. Now, I had hoped for the Athletics that they would stay, but it doesn't look like John Fisher's going to allow that to happen. But I wish they would stay in Oakland because they are a genuine good team in baseball. I hope they work out an agreement, and I hope they do horrible in Vegas and come back to Oakland. Now, here to talk about the Los Angeles Angels. Wyatt Licky.
So here, the Los Angeles Angels, they are last in the AL West. They are 20-32. They have a not good record. They are their win percentage is .385. They're 7 games behind the Seattle Mariners. And their last 10 games, they actually have a 500 record, 5-5. They're in a 2-game loss streak right now. The runs scored to runs allowed is 226 to 261, so that is a -35. Home, they're pretty terrible at home. They're 6-18. Wow, that's not good. But away, they're 14-14, so it looks like they should just decide to play away games from now on. Against above 500 teams, they are 7-20. And currently, actually, they're playing the Guardians. They are down 2-5, top of the 6, and it's not looking too good for them. Let's just go with that. And next we have in the NL East, we have the Philadelphia Phillies.
And that rounds off the American League. And obviously the best team to round off the American League, the Yankees have the best record in the American League, but not in the MLB. That is the first place Philadelphia Phillies in the NL East. Their home games can be wild. $1 hot dogs nights do not go very good. It can be very, very, very catastrophic. But the Phillies are 38-16, have a winning percentage of .704. In run one games, they are 10-5. They are in extra inning games they are 4-4. In day games they are 13-8. In night games they are 25-8. In grass games they are 36-15. In turf they are 2-1. In the East Division they are 11-15. Central 7-7. West 11-2. Teams in interleague they are 9-2. Versus righties they are 25-7. Versus lefties they are 13-9. And they're on a losing streak of, or win streak of 7-10. Losing streak of 1. Runs scored 289. Runs allowed is 196, and that puts their run differential at a plus 93. And their expected wins is 36-18. They're 22-8 at home. Away they are 16-8, and versus teams with a winning record, against teams with a winning record they are 5-2, and they are playing the San Francisco Giants next, which should be a good matchup. I know the Giants aren't doing too good this year, but hopefully I'd like to see them come back. And yep, the Philadelphia Phillies have a commanding lead over all of the other teams in their division. And here to talk about one of the other candidates in that division of the NL East is Wyatt, about the Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves are 30-20 with a win percentage of right at 600. They are 6 games behind the Philadelphia Phillies. Their last 10 games, they are 4-6. They are on a 1-game win streak currently. They have scored 232 runs and only allowed 185. So it looks like their defense is pretty good. That puts them at a plus 47 runs scored to runs allowed differential. They are actually right at the expected win-loss ratio at 30-20. They are 6-8 at home, 14-2 away. Against above 500 teams, they are 11-5. The next game, they play the Washington Nationals. Actually, they are next here in the NL East. Let's send it back to Wyatt Jones to give some information about the Nationals.
The Washington Nationals were one of the better teams in 2020-2021. They beat the Houston Astros in the World Series to win it all. But ever since Max Scherzer left, hasn't been doing too good. But they are 23-28, better than last year whenever they were in last place. The Marlins saved that spot for them this year. And their winning percentage is .451 games back. They are 13.5 games back, 2.5 games back at the wild card. So that's pretty good. They have a losing streak of 3-7. They have a losing streak. Their last 10 games they were 3-7 and have a losing streak of 1 game. Runs scored 204, runs allowed 222. That is an 18 run differential. And their expected losses from the run differential is 24-27, which is about accurate. In home they are 10-13, away they are 13-15, and against teams with above average record or winning record, they're 10-16, and they're playing Atlanta on the 27th of May. And in extra innings they are 1-3, 1-run games they are 4-8, day games they are 11-17, night games they are 12-11, grass games they are 18-26, turf games they are 5-2, east they are 5-5, central they are 2-4, west they are 4-5, and interleague they are 12-14, versus righties they are 16-21, and versus lefties they are 7-7. That's not the best you would like to see, but it's not the worst. It is deadly. But still, the Washington Nationals are in a comfortable spot, unlike the Mets, who have spent over... Last year, they had like $800 million in their contract. Pretty sure 2 pitchers were the entire Athletics worth. Yeah, that's pretty sad. But still, the New York Mets are in a comfortable spot, and here to talk about that comfortable spot is Wyatt Licky.
So the Mets are 22-30 with a win percentage of .423. So they have a losing record. They're 15 games behind the Philadelphia Phillies. So currently it looks like they're not worried about winning that division because that's off the board. And it's not looking too good for that wild card spot either. They are 4 games away. But here the Mets, they are on a 3-7 in the last 10 games. They are on a 1-game win streak. They have scored 222 runs. They have allowed 246. So the differential is negative 24. Their expected win-to-loss ratio is 24-28. So it looks like they're doing a little worse than expected. Home, they are 11-16. Away, they are 11-14. Against above 500 teams, they are 12-20. So it's not too good. Also, the Mets have, in the day, they are 11-14. Night, 11-16. On grass, they are 21-25. In turf, they are 1-5. In the East, they are 5-8. Central, 10-8. West, 4-5. And then in the AL, they are 3-9. So let's give it to Wyatt Jones and talk about how the Miami Marlins are doing at the bottom.
The Miami Marlins are 18-35. Maybe they shouldn't have kept Don Mattingly, who is a local of Evansville, Indiana. And their winning percentage is .34. Not the best. Games back, they are 19.5 games back. Wild card, they are 8.5 games back. Losing streak, or last 10 games, they are 7-3. They are on a 1-game losing streak. Runs scored, 198. Runs allowed, 278. They should be 19-34. Right now, they are 18-35. So that's basically right there. They are 10-19 at home, 8-16 away. Against a team who has a winning record, they are 8-17, and they are playing Arizona right now. Who knows who's gonna win that game? I don't know. It's probably a blowout. Versus lefties, they're 1-18. Versus righties, they're 17-17. Interleague, they're 4-8. West, they're 5-6. Central, they're 5-9. East, they're 4-12. Turf, they're 11-20. Grass, they're 7-15. Night, they're 10-20. Day, they're 8-15. Run games, they're 8-6. And what a shocker, the Miami Marlins are beating the Diamondbacks right now. In extras, they're 6-3. So it should be a pretty bad year for the Marlins. It's probably a rebuilding year for them. They're just trying to make it. But right now, the Diamondbacks are not looking too good versus them, as it looks like they're just making a ton of errors. One error let them score a run. That's not what you want to see. But overall, it should be a good game versus that. And Jazz Chisholm Jr. is doing pretty good for his stats, like expected, but it should be a good game. And as I look at their game right now, Jazz Chisholm actually had an RBI double in this game, or a few games back, who knows. But don't forget to go to Beer Fest, apparently that's a thing now. But can't wait to see how they do on game day. Today is game day for them. They are playing in Arizona right now, and scored all 3 runs in the 7th inning. Oh, someone just hit a home run. I'm pretty sure. I just saw a ball go over the fence, but I don't know. It would have been from the Diamondbacks, but I swear I saw a home run. It was probably from whatever they're called. But right now, as I'm talking, it's a 1-1 count, and to Wyatt Licky to talk about the Milwaukee Brewers and the NL Central.
Here are the Milwaukee Brewers. They're 30-22, leading the NL Central. They have a winning record of .577. Their record in extra innings, they are 2-1, and in one-run games, they are 9-9. In day games, they are 14-9, night 16-3, grass 29-20, and turf they are 1-2. So it's looking like the Milwaukee Brewers are having a pretty good season. And also, their last 10 games, they have right at 500 record. They are 5-5. They are currently on a losing streak of one game. They scored a whopping 258 runs, but allowed 213, so that'll put them at a plus 45 differential. Their expected win-to-loss ratio, win-loss, is 31-21, so they're doing a little worse than expected, but they're still doing pretty good. At home, they are 12-9. Away, they are 18-13. Against teams that are above 500, they are 10-10. So their next game is against the Chicago Cubs, which are actually next. So let's head it over to Wyatt Jones to see how the Chicago Cubs are doing.
The Chicago Cubs are doing okay. They're 27-25, have a winning percentage of .519. They are in the wild card by plus one game, and they're 3 games back in their division. Next year's they're 3-3. One-run games they're 10-10. Day games they're 12-11. Night games they're 15-14. Grass they're 24-22. Turf they're 3-3. East they're 6-8. Central 5-6. West 9-6. Interleague games they're 7-5. Versus righties they're 23-19. Versus lefties they're 4-6. And as I look at their run differential, they are at a -2 run differential. They've scored 224 runs. They've allowed 226 runs. And their expected win-loss from their run differential is 26-26. So they're doing one game better than that. And they're playing the St. Louis Cardinals today. They're 15-11 at home, 12-14 away. And they're 9-9 versus teams that have a winning record. And I just got some news that Reds have their first sweep against the Los Angeles Dodgers, which is very interesting to me because that's not something you see from Reds. But still, very interesting. Should be a good MLB series for them. And the AL Central is looking interesting, and there should be drama as the end of the season heads up. And here to talk about another one of those teams in the NL Central, sorry if I said AL, is the St. Louis Cardinals.
At the St. Louis Cardinals, they're 24-26 against the rivals Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs are beating, not rivals. Sorry about that one. The St. Louis Cardinals, they are 480 is their win percentage. They have a losing record. They are 5 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers. In their last 10 games, they are 8-2. So their last 10 games, it looks like they're doing a lot better. They're on a 4-game win streak. They have scored 196 runs, and they have allowed 238. So their differential is -42. So their expected win-loss ratio is 21-29, so doing better than expected. Home, they are 12-12. Away, they are 12-14. Against teams that are above 500, they are 9-12. Also, during day games, they're 12-15. Night, they're doing a little better, 17-11. In extra innings, they are 1-4. One-run games, they are 7-6. On grass, they are 23-24. Turf, they are 1-2. And their next game is against the Cubs. That's tonight at 7:10 p.m. actually. Next, let's head over to Wyatt Jones to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Pittsburgh Pirates' main story is probably Paul Skeens, who's dating Olivia Dunn. Now, Paul Skeens, But still, I don't even think he's that good. But don't tell anyone I said that, even though we're on the podcast. The Pirates are 25-29, have a winning percentage of .463. They're 6 games back, 2 games back from the wild card. In the last 10 games, they're 6-4, losing streak of 1 game. Runs scored 214, runs allowed 243. They're on a negative 29 run differential. They're supposed to be 24-30, but they are ahead of that, yeah, they are. Home, they're 12-15. Away, they're 13-14. And their record against teams that above who have a winning record is 15-18, and they're playing the Tigers next. Should be an easy dub, but still, it's the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're playing the Tigers, so nothing's easy for them. And next year's they're 5-2. In 1-run games, they're 10-9. In day games, they're 14-15. In night games, they're 11-14. Grass, they're 21-29. Turf, they're 4-0. East, they're 10-7. Central, they're 7-7. West, they're 4-5. And interleague, they're 4-10. And against righties, they're 14-19, and for lefties, they are 11-10. So hopefully, they have some more lefties. And that did not look good. That does not look good. They lost by 7 runs against the Atlanta Braves. So who knows about that? That's not the best. Not at all, really. It's not really good about that. Don't know what that was about. Yeah, it's not that good for them. I'm surprised I haven't seen O'Neal Cruz on here. He has like one of the highest throws, though. Let's see if I can find that. I'm pretty sure he hit the hardest ball in StatCast era at like 120 miles an hour. Doesn't seem that I can find that. Let's see. All I know is O'Neal Cruz is insane. StatCast. Let's see. Let's see. Where is he? O'Neal Cruz. Let's see. His 121.5, which is a StatCast record as of now. But who knows? People are getting stronger and stronger. Steroids are probably getting bigger and bigger. Not saying anyone's taking steroids. But now the Cincinnati Reds to Wyatt Licky.
The Cincinnati Reds are 23-30. They have a losing record of .434. There's 7.5 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers and 3.5 games behind on the wild card spot. In extra innings, they're 1-3. In 1-run games, they're 1-11. Day games, they are 9-13. Night, 14-17. Grass, 21-26. And on turf, they are 2-4. The last 10 games, they are 5-5. They are in a 3-game win streak, though, so it's pretty good. Runs scored, they're 220. Runs allowed, they're 223. The differential is -3. The expected win-loss is actually 26-27, so they are not doing as good as expected. Also, the leading batting average is LED La Cruz.
LED La Cruz.
Yeah, which with a .247 average. He also leads in runs with 36, also leads in home runs with 9, and Spencer Steer with 35 RBIs, and back to LED La Cruz with 31 stolen bases. Next, we have Pitching, the most strikeouts is Hunter Green with 71 strikeouts. Next, let's head over to Wyatt Jones and to talk about the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Okay, the LA Dodgers were just swept by the Cincinnati Reds, actually. Well, isn't that convenient? We're just talking about every team here. But still, it should be very interesting to see. The Dodgers are leading their division with 32 wins and 22 losses, and they have a winning percentage of .6, and in extra innings they're 3-3, and in extra innings they are 3-3. 1-run games they're 6-5. In day they're 9-9. Night they're 24-13. Grass they're 28-19. Turf they're 5-3. East they're 11-4. Central they're 7-7. West they're 11-9. Interleague they're 4-2. And versus righties they're 20-15. And versus lefties they're 13-7. And their run differential should be good. Yeah, it is plus 69. They're expected to be 35-20, so they aren't doing that good. But still, they have scored 270 runs, have allowed 201. Their next game is against the Mets, so they should be able to win that. They're 11-4 against winning teams, 14-11 away, 19-11 at home. Their last 5. They are on a losing streak of 5 games. Last 10 games are 4-6, and right across California, and that was 3 teams, is the San Francisco Giants. Talk about that, Wyatt Licky.
The San Francisco Giants, they are in second. They have a 27 and they're 27-27, right at 500. They are 5.5 games behind the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are on an 8-2 run currently, their last 10 games, although they're on a 1-game losing streak. The runs scored is 237. Their runs allowed is 256. That is a negative 19 runs scored to runs allowed differential. And the expected win-to-loss ratio is 25-29, so they're doing a little better than expected. At home, they are 15-10. Away, they are 12-17. They are 2-11 at above 500 teams. In extra innings, they are 3-3. 1-run games, they are 7-8. In day games, they are 15-8. Night, they are 12-19. Grass, 24-24. On turf, they are 3-3. So everything there's looking just about average. But let's head over to let's look at how they're doing in the NL East. They are 7-9, Central 6-3, West 12-11, and the AL are 2-4. Let's here. So the leading batting average is Matt Chapman with 240. He also has the most runs, 35, and is tied with the amount of home runs with 8 with Matt Chapman and Theodore Estrada. Theodore Estrada also has 30 RBIs. He's leading the San Francisco Giants in that also. And then Matt Chapman has the most stolen bases with 5. Next, let's head over. Look at that, another California team, San Diego Padres.
Now, he's on steroids, is on this team, and they are 27-28. Half a game back for a wild card, 6 games back from the Dodgers. Last 10 games, they're 5-5, have a losing streak of 2 games. They've scored 243 runs, allowed 238, so they're at a plus 5 run differential. They should be 28-27, so just flip-flop their record according to MLB. But they're 10-18 at home and 17-10 away. They're 17-16 against teams 500 who have a winning record, and they're playing the Mets right now, and the Yankees, my apology, and they are beating them 4-1. that should be fun to see how that game turns out. And as we go to more stats, we can see that in extras, they are 2-0. One-run games, they're 5-6. Day games, they're 11-9. And night games, they're 16-19. Grass games, they're 24-26. Turf games, they're 3-2. East, they're 3-4. Central, they're 11-7. West, they're 12-13. In interleague, they're 1-4. And versus righties, they're 20-19. And versus lefties, they're 7-9. The Padres are a bright team with a ton of young people, and we will hope to see the best of them as we head on to the NL pennants, or the NL champs of 2023, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they do not look like they will be going back there. But who knows? It happened last year. It can happen again. Here to talk about them, Wyatt Lucky.
So, Arizona Diamondbacks went to the World Series last year. Doesn't look like it's going to happen again this year. They are 25-27. Their win percentage is .481. They are 6.5 games behind the Los Angeles Dodgers and 1 game behind the wild card spot. Their last 10 games, they are right about average, 5-5. They are on a 1-game win streak. They have scored 244 runs, and they have allowed 239. That puts them at +5 differential. Their expected win-loss ratio is 26-26. Their record at home is 13-14. Away, they are 12-13. The record against above 500 teams is 9-16. And currently, they are playing the Miami Marlins. They are losing against one of the worst teams in the league. 3-0, actually, in the top of the 8th. So it's not looking good for them currently. And now, let's head over to our last team, the Colorado Rockies.
And the Colorado Rockies are 18-34, have a winning percentage of .346. They're 13.5 games back, 8 games back from the wild card spot. In extras, they're 3-4. One-run games are 6-10. Day games, they are 7-15. Night games, they're 11-19. Grass games, they're 16-24. Turf games, they're 2-10. East games, they're 2-7. Central games, they're 1-5. West games, they're 8-12. AL Central or interleague teams, they are 7-10. Righties, they're 13-24. Lefties, they're 5-10. And as we head to our last team's stats, they have last 10 games, they're 4-6. They have a 1-game winning streak, 211 runs scored, 285 runs allowed. That puts them at a -74 run differential. They should have a 19-33 record, and they are doing worse than that. They are 11-13 at home, 7-21 away, and against winning teams, they're against teams that have a winning record, they're 4-14, and they will be playing the Guardians on the 27th. And to wrap it up, we'll talk about the wild card. Obviously, for the AL East, the Yankees are leading it. The AL Central, the Guardians are leading it. The AL West, the Mariners are leading it. And the wild card spots are the Orioles, Royals, Twins, and the Philadelphia Phillies are leading the East, so they have that spot. The Dodgers are leading the West, so they have that spot. And the Milwaukee Brewers are leading the Central, so they have that spot. And the Braves, Cubs, and Giants are on the wild card spots. And the best team in baseball is the Philadelphia Phillies for the NL and Major League Baseball. In the AL, the New York Yankees are the best. And let's see if that will change by the end of the year or if that will stay the same. It's the Great Tiger Talk, and we've had a good time, and we both hope you have too, and hopefully next time all of our members can be here to participate in this podcast. Thank you for listening.